I think baseball is one of the best sports.
Take me out to the ball game, take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Oh yeah, I was born, brought up here. I was born over in Bassett Hospital and lived in town here for quite a few years, and then we got a place on the lake, and we eventually moved out there all the time. We never locked our doors, but everybody was very happy, and it was peaceful. Now, you know, when I was growing up, it was right sort of in the middle of the Depression, back in the 30s. And we didn't have that much. The only entertainment we ever had was maybe a radio. Main Street had they had two men's stores where the men could buy their clothes, and then there was a couple ladies' stores, and we had the general store, Newberry's. 1939, quite a year that year around here. Yes, it was. That was the laying of the cornerstone out here, building the new building for our museum. Now, before then, they had some exhibits down in our village library building in the back, where you could go and see just tables, you know, with few exhibits in them, but nothing like they were going to have. And they had the platform out in front, and then I was here. I was only 8 years old at the time, but I sat on my daddy's shoulders across the street and listened to the Babe Ruth and those guys all talk that were they had been inducted already, but their plaques were coming in. Now that day, they came by train, and it was a freight train. You see, in those days, we got a lot of our produce from freight trains. The guys walked down, my brother carried Babe Ruth's suitcase. Babe Ruth stopped and got a shave. That's all we heard for 20 years, is that the barber that told us he shaved Babe Ruth, you know. And they stopped and they visited and they talked. And of course, all the kids right around Babe Ruth, you know, he was like the Pied Piper of Hamelin, because they just gathered around, and he loved it. He just loved it. Yeah, and it was just a fun time. We had one small building, and everything was in tables with glass tops, and you'd look down at it, you know, and like that. And there was only a couple rooms. And look what we've done. People would be amazed today to see how we have grown. If you told me in the old days that we'd be getting all these people, I would never have believed you. I think baseball is one of the best sports because it involves the young people growing up. The little guys can play it, high school kids can play it, and then of course you get into the semi-professional leagues. That was the boys that played baseball. Girls did not do that, not until the 40s, not until the 40s. And I would have loved to have been on the ladies' baseball team, you know. They had etiquette, you know. They had the ladies that would come and teach them how to hold a teacup, or strictly good manners. Then they dress them in these short skirts. And it was so strange, you know, we had to laugh over that because really, you did not wear those in those days. I mean, not a lady did wear that kind of thing. They wore the boomers, and they were awful looking, awful looking things. One piece thingies that stopped just above the knees, you know, and blossomed out, made you look like a big boat. But it was so, and I think actually